Alright, hey guys, welcome to my very first pack opening video for Chaotic, the trading card game. Now, I know what you're probably saying. You're probably like, wait, this is so random. Why are you opening Chaotic? Well, I'll explain it to you. So first of all, I was looking through various dead trading card games that might have caught my attention and, see if it's something that I wanted to possibly open here on the channel. And I found Chaotic, and I'm like, wow, that looks super familiar. And it looks so familiar because I remember seeing this game all the time in game stores in the mid to late 2000s. There was a Chaotic video game that was on the DS, the Wii, the 360, the PS3. I came across the trading card game and I took a closer look at it, and I'm like, okay, these cards don't look too bad. It seems like it has a really interesting universe. Really like the way the characters and the monster designs looked, and then I delved into it a bit more and found out that it had a television show that went along with the cards. And I'm like, okay, you know me, I tend to like to do a little bit of research on stuff before I open it. And I'm like, all right, I think it would be best for me to open or watch the television show before I open some of these packs. So I started watching it about a week and a half ago or so, and I'm already more than halfway through the first season. I've watched like 23 episodes. So I thought it would make more sense to watch a bit of the show, get to know the universe, get to know the characters, get to know the creatures, and then open the cards. I might actually recognize some cards from the show. Now, I will warn you that if you go to watch this show, the animation it has not aged well. That's all I'll say. It's like it's made in Flash. The animation is really poor on it. But I have really grown to start liking the characters and the universe and the complexities between the different tribes that exist within Chaotic. And I'm getting a little sort of invested in the show. I look forward to seeing where it goes, and then the second season has some really improved animation. Anyway, we will be opening packs in this video, but I did need to give a bit of an introduction to Chaotic and why I picked it up. And there's something really unique about this card game that when you see the packs, I'll show you the cards and I'll explain it all. But there's one more thing about Chaotic. 2 years ago, the creator of Chaotic was interviewed, and he dropped a bombshell. Chaotic is supposed to be coming back. So it's been dead. This game released in 2007. It's been completely dead since 2014. There was an online client that was shut down in that year. The trading card game lasted less than that, I believe, but it has been dead for a long time. And they are apparently wanting to bring this show and card game back. And they possibly want to make the old cards still work with the new set, which is crazy. So this was news from 2 years ago. It has been a little bit, but apparently they do want to bring it back. And as of a few months ago, it's still sort of in the works. So we'll see where that goes. And if it does come back, I think now is a good time to pick up Chaotic, because if it comes back, the prices on these original packs and cards are going to skyrocket. So what do you say we crack a pack open? I've got a nice assortment here of different series. So this is Donna Perham. It's actually the first set that they released, and then I have a nice spread of some of the later, more sought after packs, and then we've got some Zenith of the Hide for what I'll be opening last. It's apparently people's least favorite set, but this is one of the later sets here, and you'll see the improvement in the card. So what do you say we open? This is my first time ever opening Chaotic. I've been so excited for this. And I do encourage you guys to check out the show, but be warned, like I said, it is a kid's show, it's a cartoon, the animation's really rough. But give it until about episode 5. If you're not hooked in some way by episode 5 or 6, then maybe Chaotic is not for you. But man, let me tell you, recently I watched episode 19 and 20, 21. That is where the show really starts to pick up and the universe really starts to develop. So these early packs, the holo hit is actually on the front. I'm not going to do any card tricks or anything. We're just going to take it as we get it, because I don't know the ordering of all the other packs. So the nice thing about Chaotic packs is you do get 2 holos per pack, and you can see the rarity up here. So this is a rare, denoted by the gold up top here. And the one thing that I wasn't really feeling about Chaotic at first, and I'll do my best to shine it in the light here, the foiling on it is a bit dark. It does make, especially in the earlier sets, it's a little hard to see. So that is the one criticism I have about it. And oh, very nice, we're starting off at least getting to show you guys some creatures. I was worried we were going to pull nothing but spell cards and equipment cards. So all right, this is a great example of how Chaotic works. So every time you pull a card of a creature, you notice there's a code down here, right? So this used to be redeemable on the online client, and you would put this code in and it would give you the stats of your creature. Now, I'm not a chaotic expert, so I can't tell you what the minimum and maximum stats for this card would be, but it's something that I can check off video. So for example, this card might have a power level of between 30 and 40. So just as an example here, I'm not sure what it actually is. So when you open this card, every time you get it, the energy will be different. The stats will be different for their courage, their power, their wisdom, and I think that's agility. So these are randomized. The energy is randomized. So it's like you're getting unique copies of the card. And as we open up a little bit more, I'll kind of explain how that works into the lore of the show. But as you can see here, when the cards aren't foiled, you get some really nice looking art on these cards. And in the later sets, boy, did they really pick it up. So once again, here's the energy. And this is printed onto the card. So you put this card code in. This card might have an energy between, say, 50 and 60. So I might have a low energy version, and it's a weaker version, and your friend whips out the same card, and it has, say, 60 power, and maybe it has more power or less courage. So really crazy concept, especially for back then. And then you have these cards here, which are locations. Now, I have not heavily looked into how you play Chaotic yet. I have a decent idea of how it works just based on watching the show. They do a good job of tying in the show to the card mechanics, it seems. But you will open up a lot of these location and music, they call them. So in the show, these are cards that the characters would play, and there's a little musical note that comes out with a flashy, like, CG animation, which would sort of look similar to what's on this card. They're not the most exciting cards to get because they are a bit abstract looking, but if you have watched the show, they will make a lot more sense because you might see these cards and music used in the show, which makes it a bit more fun to open. Like this guy here, I've seen him in the show, Whamma. So that's why I made it a point to at least watch a decent amount of episodes before we did this pack opening, because I wanted to be able to recognize some of the characters. Thought it would make it a little bit more fun that way. So I should mention there are different rarities in this. You have commons, uncommons, rares, super rares, and ultra rares. The ultra rares are 1 in 24 packs, and typically, especially in the later sets, the ultra rares, if you're pulling a creature ultra rare, are worth hundreds of dollars. Hundreds. And we got a super. Supers are 1 in every 3 packs. So the chances of pulling a super, you got a decent shot. So we're hoping to pull supers of creatures and especially ultras of creatures. There are 2 cards in this set, which we didn't get in here, which would have been Maxor and Kaor, the 2 big main characters from the show. So, and of course we got a double, of course, in 2 packs, we get a double rare. So yeah, a lot of these characters I'm recognizing from the show, but how cool is that? How, and you can see like the printing on these sometimes was a little iffy, which is why card companies like PSA and CGC do not grade Chaotic as of yet. But the value on these cards is actually skyrocketing. There are Chaotic cards that are easily worth $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 because you're not just pulling for the rarity of the card, but you're also pulling for the stats. So stats can actually highly determine the price of a card, which I just thought was so unique and so different. So what do you say we move on to? We'll still actually we'll do these next because I want to save the really good ones for last, because those are the packs that you can open, like cards that are worth hundreds of dollars. And let me explain to you how the universe of Chaotic works and how these codes and different stats actually tie into the lore of the show, which I think is really unique. So in the show, essentially you have the real world, so like what we are living in ourselves, and then you have the world of Chaotic. Chaotic is sort of like, think of it almost as like a virtual reality sort of world, where the characters can transport there, and within this virtual space, think of it almost like a Second Life or a PlayStation Home, sort of like those virtual reality, like an MMORPG almost, essentially. And within that world, there's something that you can teleport into with a scanning device called Perham. And Perham is where you actually go to scan these creatures. So think of it like a dangerous version of Pokemon Snap, where instead of just like throwing a Pokeball or taking a picture of your Pokemon, you're actually going around with the scanner and you scan these creatures around in this virtual game world. A virtual game world within a virtual game world, and depending on the current condition of the creature, it will determine the stats. So let's just say that you scan a creature when they're weakened or they're low in courage. The stats in the game will be reflected by that in the show, rather. So if you get them when they're really powerful and strong, they'll have a higher energy. If you get them when they're really weak, they'll be much weaker. So they actually take that lore from the show, or rather take the mechanics from the card game and put it in the show. Is more like it. Ooh, we got a super, we got a Ilizar. So this set here won't have anything too crazy valuable except for the ultras, but it's really nice to at least open up some super rares on stream. So as you will see, hollows can look really good if it's not a like silver hollow. So if you look at the difference here, the rare foils, right? See how it's just sort of like a darker silver kind of foil, which is cool and all. But the rainbow foils, when you start pulling stuff like the creature foils, will look a lot more flashy, a lot more what you would expect from a foil in a trading card game. And in later sets, not all of the card would be foiled, and we will open up some of those packs in this video, but the character would be non-foiled and just the background would be foiled. So the cards really started to pop in the later sets. So we got a super there. So far, our super luck has been pretty good. Now, some people do opt to block out codes, because apparently when this game comes back, the codes may be retcon, sort of like brought back into the game, and you might be able to scan them in some way and still use them all these years later. I don't know about that, but there are some people out there that are still covering up codes, because, you know, with this supposed comeback of Chaotic, you never know. You never know. For now, I'm not going to cover them, just to make the pack opening a little bit smoother, just to kind of help you guys enjoy the full art on the cards a bit more. Song of Resilience. So yes, you will open up a lot of these sort of Mujiks and spell cards and equipment cards, because it's a huge part of the show. Hive Unsung. Gear Grind. These ones are a little harder to read than, and a lot of location cards as well. And you can open up ultras and supers of locations and non-creature cards and everything like that. Obviously, we are hoping to see all creatures, and hopefully we can see at least one ultra in my packs. Like I said, it's not in our favor here. We are opening 10 packs, so pulling an ultra from 10 packs is actually not really looking too good for us. But you never know. That's the exciting thing about Chaotic, is the ultra cards are actually really rare, and they're typically really good when you get them. But yeah, there's some fantastic card art in here, and I know it's probably a little hard to appreciate just looking at it. It may look a little generic to you, but trust me, if you watch the show, all of this starts coming together. So for example, stuff like Oipont's Lookout. So in the show, the characters will teleport to locations. It's really just like a video game come to life, where they will go to these locations, and the creatures that they scan, they can actually turn into those creatures within Perham, being, you know, the virtual reality battle arena within Chaotic. And they fight in these arenas, which is sort of, it's really such a neat idea, and I fell in love with the concept. So because this is a rare, it's a little dark, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? But the card art really does shine through here. It's some really great detailed art. So if this looks interesting to you, you can watch Chaotic. You can watch it for free on YouTube. The whole series is actually on their official YouTube channel. Or you can watch it on Amazon Prime, which is where I've been watching the first season. And then they have it archived on archive.org as well. So there's many different places you can watch it. The quality is a little low on YouTube, so I'd recommend Amazon Prime for the first season, and then like maybe archive.org for the later seasons, which I'm not up to yet. So we're going to be opening some of the later sets now. And these are where you can start pulling some really big hit cards from. So I kind of forget what's in each one. I did make a list for myself, but I don't have that prepared. And as you can see, they kept the layout for these very consistent from set to set. So you're not really going to be getting, you know, super different looking cards between sets, which, you know, can happen sometimes. They kept it very consistent. All right, let's see what we get in here. Ooh, these cards can get a little warped due to the age. Okay, we got a super Neuro Freeze. We're still hoping to see our first Ultra. But pulling some of these supers in the later sets can still be worth decent money, for sure. We got an Outsmart. So this is my only pack of Beyond the Door for this video. I will be doing one more Chaotic video as of right now, where we can open up a few more packs. Turn of the Tide. All right, got one pack of this for this video. So if you're enjoying it, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Chaotic, because if I enjoyed it enough, I'm definitely going to keep opening more. And I do also highlight a lot of other trading card games on this channel, including Dead TCGs, new indie TCGs, and stuff like Midazu, a little bit of Pokemon here and there. It's a little bit of everything. It's a nice balance. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. We'd love to have you here. And as I discover Chaotic for the first time, it's going to be really fun opening these packs for the first time ever and discovering the universe of Chaotic and watching the show. And actually, I'll probably be playing the video game as well on my Twitch stream at some point. Shard Crafter's Workshop is our first rare foil here. And we got Nocturne of the Elements, Roar of the Mob, Eximiar, Prowl Strike. Ooh, that's a really nice looking card. Charge of the Brave. Great colors on that. And I love how it actually uses the curd symbol within the card art there. Okay, now these next packs are really special because there's some really amazing cards that you can get from Forged Unity. I'm really hoping for this super rare called Tobeth Togorn, I believe was how you say it. Togeth Toborn. I've seen him a bit in the show. He's a really cool character, and he has a super rare in Forged Unity that just has amazing card art, and he is pretty expensive, so I would definitely not want to eventually have to buy a single of him. So let's move these out of the way here. Something I've been forgetting to doing in the next pack. I want to smell the pack. Apparently Chaotic cards smell good, so we'll have to test that in the next pack. We got Shinado, Fearless Strike, Missilbot. Can we get some final pack magic here? Well, not final pack, we got 2 more packs. I'm lying. Monophone Mayhem is our first rare foil. Oops. And we got a Sirocco for that pack. Now, I did buy these loose. Obviously, I didn't buy a booster box because these booster boxes are insanely hard to get and expensive now. I don't know if pack searching and pack like booster box mapping is really a thing in Chaotic. Typically, you get 1 ultra per booster box, but it's not guaranteed, so searching a box for an ultra would be a little difficult, but who knows? We'll see what we can get. Ooh, like the art on that. Klenka, I really hope we get a foil creature from one of these Forged Unity packs so I can show you guys. Ooh, perfect. So, unfortunately, the rare ones are still with the sort of like full foliage, but if you open a super rare, then that is when you will see that they start to block out the foil on the actual creature to make them a little bit more visible. I'm trying to get a nice angle here so you guys can appreciate the art. Jory. As you will notice, it can be a little hard to make out the names on some of these cards. Majkan. Chaotic is known for having really hard to pronounce names on their cards. Some of them people just opt to not even attempt to pronounce in their YouTube videos, and I don't blame them. Alright, this is down to our final pack magic here. Let's see if we can pull a ultra or a super creature. See what we can get. Fearless Strike. Missilbot. Jig of Reinforcement. Ooh, we got a Tier Baleen. Nice art on that one. Don't know if some of these will eventually make an appearance in the show or not. Some of them, unfortunately, do not make appearances in the show. They're just kind of for the card game. And a Kepian is our rare. Not a super rare, not an ultra rare, but a creature nevertheless. Ooh, hold on. We got 3 foils in that pack. We got a Super Lake Blockir. And in some of these later packs, don't underestimate these super rare locations. Some of them can actually be worth quite a bit. Offhand, I don't know the price on this. But this is a great example, right? It's not a creature, but you can see they have blocked out the foil on, you know, the front part of the card here and just have the background highlighted, which is definitely my preferred foliage to use on these cards. Foiling everything on the card does make it a little hard to see. But at least we got one to show you guys what I was talking about, and that's going to do it. So we got some okay stuff, nothing crazy. No ultras in the first 10 packs, but I will be opening 10 more Chaotic packs here. A nice another blend of these same packs that I opened here in a video upcoming soon, so be sure to subscribe and check that out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my first Chaotic pack opening video, and I'll see you in the future for more Chaotic.